We were talking before the intro song.
Oh my God, would that be so crazy? And we're just like, oh, it's like an Anchorman when they're like, you're a bitch. You're a little bitch. Hello and welcome back to the Weird and Proud podcast. It's Sam and
James.
Oh, he came in quick. He's on it tonight. James is on one. Right, James?
What does on one mean?
Oh my God, James. You're just
I still don't even know what on point means. And now we're on to on one.
You don't even know. Do you know what lit means? It's lit. Do you know?
I'm sure it means something that's like cool.
James, I love James just brings you down to earth. You know, he really.
The English language is over 500,000 words. Why do we need new ones?
Exactly, James. That's what all the old people are saying. Anyways, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. We're so glad you're here. Thank you for tuning in. My hair is crazy. Big thank you for everyone who is listening right now. If you're listening right now, if you are listening to this right now, we have one thing to tell you. What is it, James?
We love you.
We love you. That's literally what I was going to say.
That's how I see.
Thank you so much for listening, for supporting. We have so much fun doing this.
Wait, try that again. Play that one more time. Say that again.
What would you say to the people?
Just ask the question again.
What? What did I ask?
What did you want me? You wanted me to say something.
Yeah.
What you asked something, and I said I love you.
What do you want to say to the people?
Oh, say what should we say to them?
What should we say to them?
They're lit.
Wow, that was beautiful. They're lit. You guys are lit. We have a great show for you. We have a little recap of what's going on in the life. We have some great what?
Nothing. I was just looking this time.
We have a little TV recommendation for you, which we're gonna try and do every week. Is like either like not even weird, but like, like a true crime, like something, crazy.
Exactly. Guys, welcome to the NFL Draft Edition.
James is like,
taking over the show.
Can we talk about NFL? It's like, no one cares.
NFL Draft this week.
Who cares?
A lot of people, in fact.
No one on here does, though. Maybe. I don't know.
If you care about the NFL Draft, just call in. And just so I know at least someone does.
Okay. Well, sure. You're so stupid. So I don't even know what I was saying, James, but we have, and we're going to do secrets. I think basically, we're going to do the TV rec, and then we're going to do we have a bunch of really good secrets. This is going to be a secret heavy episode. Because we've gotten a lot in recently, which thank you so much to everyone who leaves us voicemail. Even if you think it's stupid or dumb or like whatever, they're always so funny. We always get such a kick. They always bring up good
I love the secrets. And you know what? We might not always be able to get to all of them.
Yes.
So don't think just because we might have not used one, we might have just ran out of time.
Yeah, we might have ran. Yeah, I was
so
actually.
Please leave continual secrets.
Yes. Well, I was going to say that is. There are only like a couple, there's some that we can't, or I haven't. And it is mostly because either it's just like, or we have one that's super, super similar, which I haven't had a ton of those, or especially like if you're in a bad area where we can't hear you or like the sound isn't good. Like we've had a couple, I'm like, I cannot hear what you're saying.
It's not you, it's us.
Yeah, exactly. So just make sure like if you are going to record it just in a place that's like, it's quiet. Like a lot of people like sound like they're in a wind tunnel or like underwater recording these, or like in a place with like a bunch of people and we just can't hear. So
it is not safe or recommended to record these underwater or in a wind tunnel. Neither of those places are safe places to record.
Yeah. Don't bring your phone in there. Don't worry about it. Or just like re-record. Like if you had sent one in before, feel free to like re-record and send it back in. Or like if it was just super, super long. Like I had one person that sent in like a 5-part story. And it was like, we just don't have time to go through 5 parts. So, try and maybe.
But we love the dedication.
And commitment. But if you can like shorten it, re-record, send in, please do. And we also love the follow-ups. And we have a follow-up today.
Oh, I love a follow-up
And it's from our
call.
favorite girl.
Oh, yeah?
The girl from Italy.
Okay, perfect.
So we have an amazing follow-up. We love the follow-ups. So James, what's going on in your world?
NFL draft.
He men in their sports, it literally blows my mind. But then he was saying too, he's like, this is like my Love is Blind. You know, I'm like, why am I so obsessed with Love is Blind?
Every reality show that you watch, I just go and do research on sports. That's my time to do sports on my phone.
So James has been obsessed with sports. I'm like in my healing girl, like, you know, mental health era where I'm just
or murder.
And murder. I also love a murder. Oh my God. I was listening to Sword and Scale. If you're a big true crime girl, you probably already know about Sword and Scale.
Sword and Scale's good. He does quality work.
But oh my God, one of my favorite, I think it actually is my favorite true crime podcast. If you need a new true crime podcast, listen to him. And I also do the Plus, which is like $5 a month. And if you've been thinking about doing it, do it. And we were listening to a couple in the car yesterday, and James was like, what the fuck do you listen to?
I may have been researching sports during part of the episode, so I might have missed it.
But he was just like, what the hell is going on? This is like like what I relax
so
to.
Relaxing.
Like, let me just turn on some murder.
Sodomize a baby. Relaxing.
Yeah, I know. Some of it is like really, really bad. Like really bad. Especially in his Plus episodes are really... But, you know, well, I know there's, you know, my therapist probably has a good time going through, you know, but I think we had talked about this, like why, you know, so many people are obsessed with true crime. And it really is like a perspective. Like it really is one of those things you're like, well, I guess my life's not that bad.
It's,
you know, like you think you have a lot of shit going on. And then, yeah, you listen to like some of these cases and you're like, well, I think your childhood was horrible, and then it's like, oh, I guess it wasn't too horrible.
It's that, and it's kind of a good little version of you like the ones that get solved. It's like a mini hero's journey.
I do. We had talked about that before. If it hasn't been solved, it's really hard for me to listen to it. But if it's been solved and there's like justice has been served, I feel much better. I feel like, yeah, if it's one that hasn't been solved, I like it. Gives me even like or like if they didn't get justice, like those ones are hard for me to listen to. Like one of them, that one actually that we had listened to recently, like parents were abusing their, the child abuse ones are tough, but
oh yeah, those are the worst.
Yeah, and like they didn't have like enough proof, and like those ones are even because it's like God. But anyways, yeah, we had a good week. Yeah, I've just been working out. I've been so good at my workouts, minus my eating habits have been a little off. But I've been so good at my workouts. Still haven't been drinking, which has been, it's interesting. It's a little, it's definitely eye-opening. I obviously have been loving not having hangovers, which was really the reason why I stopped, was just because I was having horrible hangovers. And it's just, we went to an event.
How was your perspective of the event yesterday? Because it was friends of ours. It was a surprise birthday party. We went to
a birthday party.
In the past, they've done other things. They're wonderful people. Yes. And also like she's done, she does producing for shows. You've done her shows. And so there's that relationship there, but they have been friends we drink with.
Yes.
I wanted to hear, and I didn't ask you. I wanted it to be over the podcast. How was your perspective on it? Because I drank. I had fun.
Yeah, it was like a party. Like that was like the first real like party where like people were blacking out. And there was a point where I was like, all right, I gotta go.
That you did really well though. Like you seemed comfortable and happy, and you had fun.
Too, weirdly enough, like sometimes, and I had noticed this too around sober people when I was like in my party hard. It is like if you're wasted and you're talking to someone who's like, I mean, I obviously had my gummies and have my plant medicine. But like it's just you're like it's hard to have a conversation. You're not on the same level, like it's just like and you can't really like you're not even really having conversations at that point, when someone is, blacked out or like really,
there were some drunk people there yesterday.
So it was interesting. So that is, it was like on the drive home, I'm like, it's tough because you do want to. Like there was a part there where I'm like, do I just have a drink? But
you did really well. I was proud of you.
As soon as we were home, I was like, I'm so glad. I'm so proud of myself. I was so good. I still went and I had a good time and I mingled, but I yeah, it was, but
you
it
did a
was
really good job.
once I'm home, I'm like, oh my God. And then this, day after, no hangover, I'm like, oh my God, I'm sure they're hurting. But it's interesting. And the question I always get is like, when are you going to stop? Like, okay, so when are you going to, start drinking again? And I really am just playing it by ear. I think I mentioned this too, is we are going to Spain in like 2 weeks. So, I was like, in Spain, I'll probably want, a couple like, Spanish wines, try some local wines and stuff while we're there. But
Sherry.
Yes. Yes. So, so we'll see. So I guess it's like,
you did great. And it was a fun day
see how
yesterday.
I feel. And I keep saying, like, if it's worth it, if it's worth a horrible hangover and having literally pretty much an entire day at a service if I have nothing to do the next day and I know that I can just be like sad and depressed. I mean, almost like 48 hours. Like now it lasts like my hangovers are like multiple days long. Then I will, like I was saying, like maybe even for the Taylor Swift concert, because it'll be like, I'll have a couple drinks.
Just planning having like a next day where you do
nothing. And then I'll just know like the next day, like I will be dead to the world. But it's just, I feel like every day I've just had stuff, it just has not been worth it for me to take like basically 2 days completely off and know that I'm going to be like just depressed and like in a horrible state. So if it's worth it, I will, but it just hasn't been, it's like, can't go to the clubs. Just, it's just
no
not
clubs.
the same. No clubs. But anyways, so that's what's been going on with us. Getting ready for some trips coming up. Also getting ready for some shows. Big shows coming up. There's Maine, which
May 21st.
May 21st. There are only tickets available for the 9 p.m. And I feel like last time I checked, there were only like 10 or 15 tickets left. So
come visit us in Maine.
Come see us in Maine. Are coming home. Gonna be up there that weekend too, which will be fun. And then Texas, June 4th. And then hopefully in June too, planning a show in Stamford, where we live, obviously. So that'll be announced soon. We had a great show in New York City this week too. That was awesome.
You did an awesome job.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was good to get back on the saddle, because I'd taken like a couple months off just to like redo some material, rework some stuff, write some new stuff, and I was nervous to get back. It's like when you take a couple months off and then you gotta get back up there like nothing, like you didn't take any time off. A little nerve-wracking, but it's all good. It was great. Felt really good. Confidence booster. And then it was always like, the feeling after when you did the show, got some great laughs. It is like the best feeling ever. I do. I love performing. I love being on stage. I love making you guys laugh. And I can't wait to see you guys in person soon. Hopefully coming soon to a city near you. Sorry, just take a drink of water. My throat is dry. Allergies.
The trees pollinated today.
Oh my God, my allergies have been horrible. Even yours have been too.
Yeah.
I've been like struggling. Okay, TV show. Well, more of like a docu series.
It was
3 episodes.
It's one of those where you can watch multiple nights if that fits your schedule better, and if you like that.
Yeah, but like
like us,
you gotta watch them.
You need to watch. You need to binge watch.
Yeah,
this
I was
one.
like, I was, even though. Okay, so I forget the official title. I think it's Manhunt Boston Marathon Bombing.
Something about that.
Yeah, I think the title is Manhunt, but it's on Netflix. It's like one of the, it's trending right now.
You'll find it right away. It's one of the most popular ones.
And, I felt like it wasn't that long ago, even though when I was, it was
10 years ago.
Listening to it. Yeah, 10 years ago. And it was just like, there's so many things I forgot. There were so many details they went into that you just didn't know that happened. And even if you felt like, again, I have lots of friends in Boston, Boston is like one of our favorite cities to go to. So
absolutely.
I remember being like, was one of those people who was like hooked on the news, like didn't sleep. One of my best friends, the girl that was just at her baby shower, she worked at the hospital where like the bomb victims and even the terrorists, I guess that's what they're technically, terrorists, were also kind of being taken care of. She was at that hospital, and I remember she was like texting me updates, and so it was just, even have some family that lives, you know, outside of Boston, so very connected to it, but there's still even a ton of stuff that like I had no idea about.
That I remember I was running a lot at the time. I was training for a marathon at the time.
Did you ever want to do the Boston Marathon?
Yeah, there was a time where I really wanted to. I qualified for it. I just didn't want to pay. I didn't want to travel from the Midwest.
Would you ever do marathons again?
I might. Yeah, it can be an old man thing. But I remember just in the running world, it was such a big thing. I got more of my information from just talking with other people that were runners. Yeah. And more talking about the runners that were injured, and just everyone was scared to do races.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know if is there going to be a copycat? There was a lot of scared people. And being in the Midwest, not like you were so close, and having your friend there, I almost said her name again, having your friend there and everything, you had so much more information. But I'll tell you this, let's full circle back to the true crime. This is one of the best true crime documentaries you can watch.
So well done. Netflix has been like doing a really good job. They got so much footage. Like, I think that's the craziest part, is like, you didn't, you know, like TikTok wasn't a thing at the time. Like, this is 2013. No, 2013. And I was in Maine at the time, and I just remember like a lot of it, was like Facebook. But like there wasn't like, you know, as many updates as I feel like you get now when like there's something like that happening.
The way that they told that story was fantastic.
Yeah. The unsung hero of the guy who gets kidnapped, I forget what his name was, but he was from China. He was going to MIT. And he basically, like, if it wasn't for him, these guys would have gotten away. I never heard about that.
There's a huge chance they would have gotten away if it was. I never knew that.
Yeah, justice for that guy. I forget what his name was. But it's just so well done. Such like a huge reminder of like
the quality of the production, but then also it's one of those where they have like the actual guy who was the FBI lead on this whole case is in the documentary. So you get to see him tell his side of the story 10 years later.
Yeah.
And then they flash back to him 10 years ago, and you can see a younger version of him.
Yes.
And he's telling you like what's going through his mind as he's talking about it. And that's what I found the most interesting.
Totally. Yeah. Even the guys that like the police officers that showed up in Watertown, like one of the guys who literally were like shooting with the bombers.
They had you know, the gentleman who was from China, and they had all the heroes that were involved in this story.
They had a victim whose friend passed away from she got really hurt and then she ended up passing away. And her story, oh my God, it was
really well done.
It was so well done.
Watch it.
So worth the watch.
Have some tissues.
Yeah, it's sad, but it is just a crazy. So, like, you forget, like, it was, like, what a bizarre, I remember when it was happening, it was like, what? It was hard to believe that something like that would happen in Boston. It's such like a marathon where it's like, such a happy day. And like, it's
the oldest marathon in the country. Yep. It's an American event. Like it's not as watched as like the pro sports, but it's such an iconic event in the United States that if you'll hear more about the motive of the people when you watch the documentary. Like those are other things you never really heard about.
Story.
The background to them.
Yeah, I didn't know like where they came. Stuff. It was really, really interesting. So worth the watch. That's your recommended watch of the week. All right, James. Anything else before we get into some really good secrets? We got a bunch of good ones this week.
I'm very excited for the secrets. Let's dive right in.
Okay.
Wait, were we going to talk about the NFL draft?
No.
That's not lit.
That's a no. That's a negative. Ghost Rider. The
not lit is not lit a thing.
No.
I kind of feel like it might be.
No, it's not.
Can it be?
No. So if you want to send us in a voicemail, you can also do that. Even you're getting ready. You pre-ejaculated there. If you want to call in and leave us a voicemail with your weird secret, weird thing you do, embarrassing thing, glitch in the Matrix. I couldn't say that for a second. Glitch in the Matrix story, paranormal. Tell us your weird shit, anything that's weird. You can call us in at
SpeakPipe.
SpeakPipe. SpeakPipe.com. SpeakPipe.com/Weird and Proud Pod. It'll also be in the description of this podcast. So if you want to make sure, click on the link. It'll be right in the description. You can click on that. All right, James, are you ready for the first voicemail?
I'm so excited.
All right, here we go.
Hey guys, just listened to your Glitch in the Matrix episode and I had to share my story. So I needed to go to a store that was in a shopping center that had a pretty large grocery store. That's important to the story in a little bit. But before I went into the store that I needed to go to, I had to use the restroom. So I popped into like a little shop. And as I came out of the shop, I felt very weird. It felt very eerily still. And I just happened to look towards the grocery store and everyone was mid stride, stopped. I'm talking dead stopped. And they were all looking up at the grocery store sign. Like they were up looking up at the sky. They were just all dead stopped. And then it was as if someone snapped their fingers and then they all went about their business like nothing had ever happened. The goosebumps that I got, I was shook. I was like, no, I don't even need to go shopping anymore. I'm going home.
Oh my God. So I wonder like how long those people are staring up at the sign for. You know? Because that is creepy. It's like one of those. I feel like that's a M. Night Shyamalan type of movie.
Yep.
You know, like what's that movie where they're the trees are like attacking people?
The Happening.
You know, where like all of a sudden everyone just stops. That actually literally does happen in The Happening. I feel like that's like what happens is like all of a sudden everyone is just frozen. That's so weird, so creepy. Yeah, I wouldn't have gone in either. Would you have gone in, James?
Probably.
James is
I would have been one of the people staring at the sun. I'd be like, what's everyone doing looking at this thing?
I know. Well, that's also a thing, too. Someone looks up and, like, everyone looks up.
That's one of those for me, though, as you know. Some people are more open to that sort of thing. And obviously, if she felt it to that level,
well, that's like it's more of like a
on.
feeling. Like if you got goosebumps and like you get a weird feeling, like that's more of like the crazy part rather than being like, oh my God, everyone's looking at the sign.
And maybe the source that was having everyone look at the sign is what gave her the warning that not to go towards that area.
Right. James doesn't believe in any of that.
I always believe what people say. I can't speak to her experience.
James, you're so PC.
Well, there could have been somebody making an important announcement over a loudspeaker, or they could have been flashing up sports scores or important things like that.
The NHL.
I would have been stopped staring at the TV myself.
So stupid. Thank you so much for calling in. We love a Glitch in the Matrix story.
Glitch in the Matrix stories are awesome.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone in either. You know, you just get a feeling. Sometimes you get a feeling. And then, you know, you got to follow your gut, like Oprah always says.
Okay. Hi. Big fan. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Okay, so years ago when I was young and stupid, I got kind of into the sugar baby life. And I knew this guy, and I would drive 35 minutes to his house, and he would push me up against the wall the second I got there and just choke the living shit out of me, like to the point where my legs would give out. I would basically almost pass out, and he would catch me, and then he would do it again. And definitely lost a lot of brain cells, but I would leave 10, 15 minutes later with 800, 900. One time he gave me $1,000 for that, and I was fully clothed the entire time. And yeah, I'm glad I got out alive. 10 out of 10 would not recommend, but anything for $1, right?
Oh my God. What? He just wanted to choke you until you passed out, and that was what he got off on?
So, like a power, right?
Yeah. power.
There's some potential serial killer tendencies.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm like,
I've watched enough Criminal Minds to know this.
Yeah. At least you're alive.
Yeah, and here's why I love a good story like this, where she said, the sugar baby lifestyle.
Yeah.
It introduces you to a whole new part of the world that you don't always think about, right?
Yeah, it does. It really does. There are a lot of people that do that. One of the girls I was talking to yesterday at the party, there's a lot of the sugar baby stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And we had a call. Was it the last episode? The girl she was in Italy. The follow-up call.
Well, that's a hooker. I'm just kidding. If you listen,
what's the major difference?
Sugar baby. So a lot of the time,
again, like the lit thing, I don't really know exactly what.
Well,
it is.
a lot of the times, like a sugar baby is like someone who like will just like, some guys just want to pay women money just to pay them money. Like it makes them feel good. Like they don't even a lot of times have to do anything. Like some of the girls, like, it'll be like, send me pictures of your feet and I'll send you, or they'll be like, I really need help paying my bills. And he's like, I just want to pay just
okay. So it's not always sex exchange.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah. Even just to go to dates and even just to like have a friend, like a lot of people will just pay for that.
A little arm candy type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So listen, you got to do what you got to do, but thank God you are.
Yeah, glad you're okay.
Alive to this day. I have not heard that. Just wanting to choke someone. Whatever you're into, I guess. All right. Next one.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Okay, I'm just going to jump right in here. This is definitely weird. My boyfriend has a best friend who is a heavier set guy in his late 30s, a little bit of a lonely dude, One night after schmirking a little gurge, if you know what I mean, he decides to leave our house pretty late at night. And we had a neighbor downstairs. We did not live in an amazing area at the time of our life because, well, who can afford anything nowadays? So she offered him to suck his dick for $10. And she popped her teeth out and was like, how about it? And he was like, sure thing. So he popped her $10 and he said it was the best blowjob of his life. So do your thing, ladies and gents. Do your thing.
So to recap that one, short version, they have a friend. He was leaving their house.
Yeah, weird friend. And the neighbor was like, yo.
For $10, I'll do
pop out my teeth and give you the best blowjob of your life for $10 for the best blowjob of your life? Hello.
Sounds like
I'll
a value.
pay $10.
Sounds like a value purchase.
I'll just pay $10 for you just to see if it really is. See whose is better.
I'm good.
I'm good. Especially like I can't remember what movie it is too, where like she pops out her teeth like the old lady.
I was trying to think of that when you said it.
Pops out like her dentures.
And it's gonna hit me like a ton of bricks.
Someone out there knows what movie it is. But yeah, that's a deal of the century. He would be stupid to say no to that. That's so funny. I
want to say the movie was with Seth Rogen.
I can't remember. I can like picture the scene.
Either Will Ferrell or Seth Rogen, but I don't think it was Will Ferrell.
We'll have to look it up after. But I love how you were just like, it took you a second to say, suck a stick.
Great. That definitely weird story.
That was an amazing story. Thank you for calling in. That was gorgeous. All right, James, you ready for the next one?
Ready.
I lost my virginity to the son of a pastor while watching Hairspray in my grandparents' bed, and it legitimately only lasted 10 seconds, and then I pretended like I was so sore afterwards, I made him carry me to the car.
I love the carrying to the car part.
That's hysterical, because that was always like a thing. Like I remember like whenever we were in sex ed, and it'd be like, it's gonna, like that was kind of like a scare tactic. Like it's gonna really, really hurt. Like it breaks your hymen, like it breaks a bone inside of you, and like you're gonna bleed. Yeah, because it broke your hymen. Like, and a hymen is a bone. You like break it, and you're gonna bleed everywhere. So it probably was like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh my God, it hurts. That is so funny. James, where did you lose your virginity?
Do you remember? I think it was a long time ago.
How old were you?
I don't remember.
What? James?
I think I had to have been 18. I don't think I was 17 or 18. It was after.
It was in college?
Yeah, it was after high school.
Wow. Just with a rando,
I was a good boy
or a girlfriend?
Not a girlfriend.
Just a random chick?
Pretty much.
Was it a prostitute?
No, not a sugar baby situation.
How was it? Was she super sore?
Probably less than 10 seconds.
You don't remember her name?
No.
How? That's such a special moment.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, but wasn't it special?
Yes, so special.
James, what a player. Are you a player?
I just don't think, I don't know if guys just don't think of it the same way.
Yeah, well, I guess. Sure, whatever. Yeah, I think I was like 16, and it was like at a friend's house, because like it was like one of my friends, like her parents were going away, and we were like, and there was like 4 couples, and we were like, we're all gonna do it at the same time.
See, that's the kind of, like, I wasn't.
Yeah, like that's like, like it was like we all were like planning it was gonna be like this special night.
Sounds like out of a rom-com.
No, literally was. That's hilarious. Thank you.
That was a great
for calling that.
Absolutely,
that is amazing. All right,
the setup was great too. Hairspray, like knew every detail.
I love that hairspray. Really? That's honestly, hairspray makes me horny too. Have you seen Hairspray? Have you ever seen the movie?
You have it on DVD. We watched it together forever ago.
Hairspray is so good. The music is absolutely fire flames. All right, you ready for the next one?
Ready.
I went backpacking in Europe last summer with some friends, and on my very first night there, we started in Florence. We went to a club, and I met this really tall, handsome German guy. We had sex in the bathroom at the club, very drunk, and then I got chlamydia from him. Never saw him again, and then spent 3 more months in Europe with chlamydia.
Oh, you poor thing.
Oh, no.
That's like getting sunburned the first day of vacation, except it's chlamydia.
Yeah, except it's chlamydia. Oh, I'm so thing. Sorry. You didn't wrap it? Those Italian wieners. You don't know where those things have been.
She said he was German.
Oh, that's right.
She was in Italy.
Right. You said you're in Germany. Yeah, he was German. Ooh, German wieners. Ooh, you love a German wiener.
I am a German wiener.
You are a German wiener.
Yeah, like 90% German or something.
James is a German wiener. Was it James?
No.
James, were you in Florence? No.
I don't have chlamydia.
Oh, you could have gotten rid of it.
I'm off the hook.
I had a friend once.
I have an alibi.
You do have an alibi. I had a friend once that got chlamydia 9 times.
I don't know how to respond to that, except with a series of facial expressions that show some level of.
She went after it. She was on one.
Well,
500.
Obviously, she has a type. Guys that are probably going to end up with
very
chlamydia.
Careful.
Yeah,
and
she sleeps with guys that aren't very careful.
Time. Yeah, she had a good
9
time
is a
in
lot.
college.
The statistics behind the chances of someone getting chlamydia 9 times are.
Yeah,
I can't imagine how low that is.
Well, when you're banging a lot of weirdos, the stats go higher. Your stats increase. Yeah, she was a wild time. I wonder what she's doing now. Like some of those people. But you go and like check their social media, and she's like married with like 4 kids, and like is like a accountant.
And doesn't get chlamydia anymore.
Or does she? You never know. That was amazing. even though I'm so sorry about the chlamydia.
Yeah, sorry about that, but great call.
But chlamydia, if you're going to get an STD, chlamydia is one of the best. Yeah.
That's the
one.
one.
If I had to choose an STD, I'd definitely get chlamydia for sure. I've never had chlamydia, but I don't know. It could be fun. Just kidding. You really just like take an antibiotic and you're back on it. That's why she got it like so many times. She was like, not a big deal. Take an antibiotic. You're good to go.
Did she have her own coffee mug at the chlamydia clinic's office or what?
Well, that was the thing too in college. Like you can get like testing is free.
Yeah.
And like super like confident people like literally got them like every week. So it was like,
oh, you got it again.
Yeah. So she literally was like, yeah, her doctor was like, hey girl, refill. Yep. Good to go.
Refill.
Basically drive-through patient.
That's great.
So funny. So funny. Okay. You ready for the next one?
And James, little fun fact before I tell my story is that we will be moving to Connecticut soon, so I hope there will be a stand-up show in or around Connecticut that I can come to. Just love you guys. Started watching just all of the videos and now listen to the podcast. Anyways, so I have a story that ties in, Sam, a little bit with your mushroom night going a little too far. When I was in high school, we would, smoke some Mary Jane, and one night we couldn't get it from who we usually got it from. To be 16 again, and so we just got some random stuff from somebody else. Everyone else was too scared to smoke it, so I was the guinea pig, and it was laced with something, or it just wasn't the Mary Jane, because your girl was high. I climbed on top of my car in the country. I thought hyenas were chasing me, and we were in outer space. The time went by so slow. It was like 20 minutes. I thought it'd been hours upon hours. And yeah, it was the scariest night of my life. So your story made me think of it. But anyways, love you guys.
Oh my God. Can I relate?
Can't wait to see you guys in Connecticut.
Yeah. Hopefully by the time you get here, we'll have the show planned this summer. So love that you're coming here. Stanford's fun. We love Stanford.
We do. What was that? I wonder what it was laced with, like angel's dust or something.
Angel's dust. Something lit.
Yep.
No, I wonder if it was laced with the same fucking thing that I was laced with, because that's literally no, I wonder, it's just like sometimes with weed, and even like when we were in the city for 420 at the show, there was someone handing out like joints. And even like, of course, like I will take anything. I was like, I don't even know if I want to smoke this, because it's like you just don't know. A lot of these like synthetic type stuff, like spice is a big thing. Have you heard of spice?
No.
So that also was supposed to be like a synthetic, like it's when like people are trying to like recreate plant, like it was basically like trying to, I think, like create like a weed. Basically, it's called spice, and it literally makes people lose their minds. Like people literally will like have like manic episodes and like end up in a mental institution. Yeah, like grippy sock vacation type of thing.
Grippy sock vacation.
Yeah, and you put the grippy socks on. That means you're in.
I like grippy socks.
Me too. So
you don't need to go to a hospital to wear grippy socks.
No, James. You get those all the time because you're special. So spice, like there's just a lot of, that's why like, if you can get a medical card, I mean, obviously that was when you were young and like, yeah, same thing. I mean, who knows what we were smoking back then, but medical card, because then you just know it's coming from a good source. Now I just am too nervous about anything, even like fentanyl, which is like normally you see it in coke and other types of drugs like that, but you never see it in like, in weed. But I've heard of that going around, like people getting fentanyl in their weed.
Really?
It's like, what? Who knows? But you got to be careful, and that is scary. I can relate, and I tell this story. I'm, working on a bit in my stand-up where I tell the story, but if you haven't heard it, we took what was called a hero's dose of mushrooms. And one of my friends like recommended this, you know, these mushrooms that we got. And it was like this bag that we hadn't tried before. Like we had tried like a little, like I had tried a little bit of like little types like microdoses, but never like a big one. And I got this hero's dose, and I wasn't a hero. I was not a hero. Pretty much called 911. Thought I was dying. Literally thought I was dead.
Well, we
and I was
kept you
never
from
coming back.
calling 911 at least.
Yeah, but I was dying. I thought I was dying, and so I can relate. Yeah, be careful out there, kids.
Do you think she got caught by the hyenas?
I don't know.
Sounds like she's okay.
Sounds like she's okay. All right. Here is the update from our girl. James, are you ready?
Okay, hi, it's me, the hooker in Italy. I loved hearing you guys react to that story. It was everything. I was dying of laughter. I feel like it really needed a follow-up. You had some questions, and I had to tell you, Sam, this happened to me when I was in Florence, Italy. So I guess it's just a weird place to be. Yeah, I just went over there. He had the cash fully laid out on the table, like spread out. His apartment, yes, was so nice. It was like multiple levels. He was obviously super loaded. And yes, it was so weird. He made a joke about me fucking his dog, and I was like, "Ha, we're not going there." And he kept making me like moan his name, and it was weird. But he also kept making me update my friend to let her know I was safe and I was doing okay. So I was like, okay, this is fine. I'm gonna live. I'll survive this one. And then I left with, I just had the biggest dick energy feeling of my life. I had so much money in my pocket. I bought a super fancy bottle of Prosecco. I picked my friend up from the train station, took her out for a really bougie dinner. And yeah, overall, great experience. I'm glad you guys liked my story.
Oh,
Florence is a place, apparently. Now we've had
people
multiple
are getting chlamydia. People are hookering. I love that he was having you update your friends.
Yeah, this guy's obviously done this.
Yeah, not his first rodeo.
Yep.
Not his first hookering. I
love that she called herself the hooker from
I know.
That was my favorite part. You go, girl. You're lit.
Yeah, like it honestly, like it's like, yeah, that, you know, why not? Listen, especially, I forget how much money you said he gave, but like 800 euros or something.
I think he started at 5 and she said, why not 7? Was it 7 or 8? We could be,
something
wrong.
Like that. But like, that's still like, that's a good amount of money.
Especially if you're 20s,
yeah,
backpacking in Europe, that's a ton of money.
That is literally, yeah, that's like half your
That's the whole vacation. Yeah.
So good for you. You know what? I love that you did that. And I love that he was looking out and he wanted you to be safe. Like, that's when you know.
Just to be the dad side, for other listeners that have not done these things, we are not recommending this.
Yes,
we're not suggesting it.
You hooker in Italy, but
because we're praising the story, it already happened, meaning she survived. So don't just go out and look for these situations based on this entertainment-based only podcast.
Yes, exactly. That was very good.
Is that a good disclaimer?
Yes, the lawyers will
but still calling with weird shit.
I love that follow-up. We love you.
That was a great follow-up.
Yeah, that was amazing. We also love all of you that have called in, and we love when you guys call us, leave us your weird voicemails, tell us all your weird shit. So make sure that you call into speakpipe.com/weirdandproudpod. Again, speakpipe.com/weirdandproudpod. It'll be in the description as well. I think I'm just going to move to that. Voicemails are better. Like, you know, it's kind of going through DMs, but I think that's the way to do it. Call us in, or, you know, have a friend call it in if you really don't want to use your voice. But yeah, let us know too if you know any follow-ups too for previous ones. Love a follow-up, especially if you ask questions on it. And we just love you guys so much. Thank you so much for all the support. And make sure if you haven't already, make sure that you're subscribed, make sure that you're followed, especially if you're on YouTube. And make sure to call in, leave us a voicemail. Tell us all the secret things. And if you're in one of the cities coming up, make sure you get tickets. SamanthaRamsdell.com/events.
Don't get ticks. We don't want to deal with Lyme disease.
Don't get ticks. Get tickets at SamanthaRamsdell.com/events. So, anything else you want to tell the people, James?
If you're wondering if your team did well during the NFL draft, call in. I'll give an analysis. I'll give them a grade.
No, don't do that.
I've got the first 3 rounds all mapped out.
Holy shit. Pray for me. And I'm praying for all the other girlies out there that have a mans that won't shut the fuck up about the NFL.
Maybe
NHL,
if they call in, I don't have to bother you with it. I can bother them.
You should just, why don't you post your own stuff on social media and then people can come to you?
That sounds like a lot of work.
Everyone who looks at James' profile, if you've ever been on his Instagram, by the way, people have sent me and been like, is this really James or is this like a scammer? Because it looks like a scammer.
Maybe I should beef it up a little bit.
You really should. It's like old stuff from like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
for
true.
a company you don't even work for anymore.
True.
Anyways, I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it.
Hey, there's no holes in my socks.
Yeah, because I threw them all out.
And you know what? My feet are sweating because of that.
You're so stupid. We love you so much. Thank you again for listening, supporting. It means the world to us. We have so much fun doing this. And we'll see you guys next
Love you guys.
week. Love you, weirdos.